What is good, everybody? It is your boy Champagne Chico, and we're back with another rebuild. And this week is the Chargers, and then we have the Dolphins coming up after this. I would love to do the Dolphins just because it's my team, but we are going to do the Chargers. I think this is going to be at least a minimum of 5 years, just because that's really the area of where it starts to kind of go downhill. Justin Herbert has his contract up in a few years, and you don't know if the Chargers are going to re-sign him, depending on what happens in between now and then with his injuries, or if he gets any injuries at all. Keenan Allen's only getting older. Joey Bosa, there's been rumors of him teaming up with his brother. You could lose your whole defense just like that. And Khalil Mack is only getting older too, so you traded for him to do absolutely nothing, and I don't even think they made the playoffs. But before we get into this video, do have to ask you guys to go down there and like and subscribe for me. About 90% of you guys that watch these rebuilds are not subscribed. I would greatly appreciate it if you do go down there and like and subscribe for me. And with getting into the off season with the Chargers, you really are looking to get just some players back. I don't know if you're looking for Bryce Callahan to come back. He's 31, maybe on a one-year deal, but you want to have some sort of cap going into free agency. Kyle Van Noy is a little too old. Drew Tranquil would be great to bring back because he is a 76 star. There's Kenneth Murray Jr., though. I'm not sure what scheme the Chargers run, so he might come back if we're running two middle linebackers. DeAndre Carter did great, but he's 30 years old, and we already have a solid wide receiver room, so he could really walk, to be honest with you. Nazir Adderley is our free safety, so we might have to get him back as well. So there's a lot of people to re-sign, not very high contracts, but it is going to knock down the overall money just a bit. And especially Cameron Dicker, you don't have any other kickers, so you got to get him somehow and just figure out how to go into next season with the contracts that you have and see if you can move any of the contracts that you have to other teams that are willing to take it. We are going to try to re-sign Bryce Callahan to keep this cornerback room as it is to a neutral deal. Excited to sign such a great offer. That's our first re-signing. We're just going to keep it going right now with Drew Tranquil. We do run two middle linebackers. The offer's perfect, so we keep him for another couple years. DeAndre Carter's going to have to go. Nazir Adderley could be coming back. It would drop us to 18 mil though, and we're at 21. It wouldn't be that much. It's a 2-year deal. Let me get Cameron Dicker first just to make sure that I get him back. And I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to test out free agency. That's great. That is so great. Parham could be a good addition just because he's going to be cheap for the foreseeable future. I'm going to go ahead and try to get the players that we have right now back, at least the main ones. So I am going to get Nazir Adderley back. We'll worry about the contracts that we have going into free agency. We have 14.7 or 15 mil in cap right now. I want to see how much I can get with the money that I have at 15 mil. Everybody else is just expendable right now, so we're gonna go ahead and go into free agency, see if we can do anything, and if not, then we have to focus on the draft and see if we can get the positions that we need in the draft. Really only going after one big signing in this free agency, at least the first free agency, and you're competing with a lot of different teams, but it's gonna be Orlando Brown for the foreseeable future in terms of 3 years. He will be able to develop a lot. Also across from Rashad Slater, they can either switch. One of them chooses to go to right. You can put Orlando Brown at right tackle. You can't really go wrong with it. I mean, you just have to hope that you're able to get him, and we don't get Orlando Brown. So the next player that I was going to try to get was, if he's still here. Oh, he's not. I was going to try to get Marcus Davenport, but he already chose to go to Houston. That doesn't help us much right now. Not the most entertaining free agency, but we're getting Chris Wormley and Cameron Dicker. You're basically just trying to fill out your positions right now. We're not sure if we're going to be able to get a good end or defensive end in the draft. I'm expecting to be taking an offensive lineman in the first round, so you'd never really know. Hopefully they're able to accept. Cameron Dicker still hasn't accepted it, but the defensive end has accepted it. I guess we'll just have to see if Cameron Dicker ends up coming back to the team. But we will go into the draft looking for the tackle and hopefully, possibly, getting a defensive end as well for the future. We are the 22nd pick in the draft. They don't have the Bears trade already, but we are the 26th pick in the draft, so we're just going to go ahead and sim to it. Hopefully the tackle that I am looking at is going to be there. Brian Brees gets taken to the Miami Dolphins. If we still had our pick, that would be fantastic. But left tackle Broderick Jones is here. Darnell Wright is also here, but Broderick Jones is still on the board. He still performed pretty well against the other players in the combine. I wouldn't see why we don't take Broderick Jones here. We can move around the tackles and see who performs better at the right tackle or left tackle position, but taking Darnell Wright over Broderick Jones just because it's the position that we need doesn't seem too smart. So I'm going to go ahead and take Broderick Jones here. I'm surprised that he dropped this far. He is hidden development, so don't know why. 6'5", 311 pounds. I think he's going to be great coming out of college this year for whatever team ends up getting him. So probably going to be the Rashawn Slater of this class, to be honest. Tulu Tiapalatu is the left end that we're looking at right now to basically have a young player at the defensive end position, because Kalijah Kancey was not here. I thought he was going to be able to drop to the 3rd round, but I'm really looking for positions of need at the moment. Hopefully he's good. He is normal development. He has solid stats. He can maybe develop alongside the rest of the defense, but not too convinced. I think the next man coming off the board is going to be Darius Rush. He has solid stats, solid physicals. He has elite acceleration, so that's always good for a cornerback. He was first in the 40-yard dash at the combine, not the pro day. His stats are pretty good. Oh, he was first in both the combine and pro day, so that's fantastic for us. His stats are pretty decent. I mean, we're in the 3rd round right now. There's not a lot of great options at cornerback, of course, because they probably all got took in the 1st round. We just need to prepare for the future, because Bryce Callahan is probably not going to be re-signed next year. Darius Rush could be the future of the team. He has some solid speed stats. Hopefully it pans out for us, because he's probably going to be CB4 right now. And with the 4th round pick, it seems like a lot of wide receivers are dropping right now. And I think you look, or the Chargers look, to replace DeAndre Carter's departure from the team. He has A catch in traffic, not the best release. He has B spectacular catch, and then everything else we don't really know right now. His physicals are solid. They're nothing to go crazy about. He's 6'2". He's a deep threat out of Iowa State. 22 years old. Xavier Hutchinson has some pretty decent stats for a 4th round pick. Hopefully he ends up panning out, or maybe he's a decent overall. But he has a pretty deep wide receiver room to be competing with. Yep. Jake Moody is going to be coming to the Chargers. I think if they're not able to get Cameron Dicker, I don't know if they already got him back, but they will get Jake Moody. They love having their young players, even though they traded for aging Khalil Mack last season. And at the start of the 1st season of the rebuild, we have Broderick Jones at right tackle. I'm expecting him to be able to develop a lot. We have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Joshua Palmer. Xavier Hutchinson is a decent overall, so hopefully he ends up panning out. We didn't want Hightower being our wide receiver 4, so I'm glad Hutchinson is there now. Austin Eckler is still here in his age 28 season. They're having a contract dispute right now, and he almost wants to leave. So that does not look like Austin Eckler whatsoever. Justin Herbert, somebody who has a contract discussion coming up very soon. Our front 7 is kind of mediocre. We have a lot of stars that can develop. I mean, the defensive line is just not that crazy, but our safeties are great. We do have J.C. Jackson, who was injured last year after a kind of disappointing start to the season. Jake Moody at kicker. I think we're going to do pretty decent. I'm not going to say that we're going to push too far into the playoffs. We'll probably make the playoffs, but we will go ahead and simulate to the midseason mark and see how this Los Angeles Chargers team does. And at the midseason mark, the Chargers are 2-5. Who is a contract coming up that we have to worry about? Justin Herbert. That is most likely why the Austin Eckler discussions are not going well, because they have only $36 million next year if they keep their players the way that it is. That's not a comfortable amount of room at all. You definitely have to make some moves at the midseason mark. You're 2-5, so you might as well just kind of pack it up for the season Before I get into the trades, though, I am going to go ahead and show y'all the lineup. It looks pretty similar to what it was, but Broderick Jones is a superstar, so that's going to help us for the future. We might be moving on from a lot of older players. Both of our wide receivers are getting paid, or both have a cap hit of about 20 mil each coming up, so that's not going to help us a lot if we want to keep Justin Herbert. Austin Eckler's a bit questionable. I did not remember to take off injuries, so JC Jackson is injured for 4 more weeks, so that definitely does not help our defense much. I think we're going to keep JC Jackson either way, though. I wasn't planning on getting rid of him. Khalil Mack, though, has a very, very large cap hit that I don't think the Chargers want to hold on to. So there's a lot of older players like Corey Linsley, Filer, who, I mean, he's not having that big of an impact on the cap hit. You just have to see what you can do with the cap hits that you have and try to free as much space as possible to be able to keep Justin Herbert at least. If you're able to keep Austin Eckler, then that's also a plus. All right, we are offloading Michael Davis for a 3rd round pick. I need the cap room. And, I mean, he's decent. It's just not decent enough for him to be taking 8 mil off of my cap space that I need very badly if I want to keep Justin Herbert right now. I'm contemplating waiting until the offseason for the Austin Eckler signing, but I'm going to go ahead and try to get Justin Herbert right now. Hopefully he ends up accepting, because I think he does want to stay with us right now, and he does have a lot of interest in staying with the team. We still don't have enough. All right, well, a little bit too quick of a trade, but we're sending Khalil Mack back to the Bears for their 2nd round pick. They still are not very good, so it is the top of the 2nd round, almost a late 1st. I didn't want to pack up Corey Linsley just yet. It seems that he is worth the 1st round pick, so if it comes down to it in free agency that I have to offload somebody else in order to keep our younger players, then Corey Linsley just might have to go. But I don't think Khalil Mack has much more time in Los Angeles, because he takes a lot off of the cap, and I think they're going to prioritize Justin Herbert next year. I think I'm going to try and do a neutral, see if he accepts it. Not considering shorter deals at the moment. That doesn't help us. That does not help us a lot. I don't know if they're going to end up keeping Austin Eckler right now. And the issue with that is that by the time his contract is up, he's going to be 32. But what other running back can you get? I am going to try and get Austin Eckler back, but not for 4 years. I do want to have a team-friendly deal. I don't know if he's going to like it very much because his interest isn't that high. You know, I love this team, but this deal is just wrong. Okay, well, that doesn't help us much. With that all being done, Khalil Mack is no longer on the team, but we are 20th in offensive yards. I'm assuming the defense is what's screwing us. 21st. So, not horrible. 1,500 yards, 10 TDs, and 9 interceptions for Justin Herbert. That is not a good season so far. Austin Eckler has 471 yards and only 1 touchdown. Justin Herbert has more rushing touchdowns than him. Keenan Allen has 492 yards and 7 touchdowns. Mike Williams has 299 and 1. Palmer has 2 touchdowns and 264. Defense. Tranquil is the leading tackler, as Joseph Day has the most TFLs on the team now. I'm assuming Khalil Mack probably had it before. Bosa only has 2. Bit of a concern. 3.5 for Wormley, 3 for the rookie, 2 for Joey Bosa, and 1.5 for Kenneth Murray in terms of sacks. A lot of decisions to make for the Chargers right now, but I am interested to see if I'm able to get Justin Herbert back in free agency, and if I'm not, then that's just going to not do us very well if we have to find another quarterback. But we will simulate to the end of the season after trying to renegotiate with some of our players and seeing what's in the mock draft. We might just have to get Austin Eckler back this offseason. And we did not end up making the playoffs. We were 5-12. Not a good season at all, as we are going to look at the stats, see if Justin Herbert picked it up after the start of the season. 18th in offensive yards, so we went up a couple ranks. In defense, though, we dropped to 26th. That is not good. 4,300 yards, 33 TDs, and 17 interceptions. It's not bad, but it's not fantastic. Austin Eckler did get above 1,000 yards, 4 yards per carry, and 8 touchdowns, so 3 fumbles. Not bad. I don't know if it's the contract that he's looking for good, but Keenan Allen got 1,200 yards, 12 TDs. Joshua Palmer had 1,000 yards and 8 TDs. Mike Williams only had 738 and 4 TDs, and Gerald Everett had 802 and 4 TDs. It was pretty well spread out, but Palmer getting more yards than Mike Williams. That puts into question if we're even going to keep Mike Williams this offseason, because he takes a lot, and for him not to be the one of the top two is concerning. Tranquil had 123 tackles on the season. I think he is a bit older, though, because they have him as a bridge player. TFLs, Joseph Day had 10, Wormley had 7. The rookie had 7. Austin Johnson had 6, and Joey Bosa had 5. In terms of sacks, Wormley had 8.5. Joey Bosa had 7.5. The rookie had 5, and that's really about it for right now. Now we have to look into free agency since we did not make the playoffs. You got to see what you can do to bring back Justin Herbert at least. And at the end of the 2023 season, the Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs beat them, though, 35-23. Patrick Mahomes, of course, wins Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen won NFL MVP, and I don't think we had anybody. Nope. Nobody on our team won any awards, so that isn't a good look, also because we were 5-12, but we have $81.8 million in cap. We have to see if any players retired, because that's also possible to free up some more space, because I think we only had about 50-60 mil after the trades that we made. None of our players retired, but we are going to see who we can bring back with 81.8 million or 82 rounded up. Justin Herbert has dropped to a superstar, though. He is 26. You have to play your cards right at this point. I mean, that's a big jump in salary from neutral to player friendly, but it's hard to find another QB, and I don't imagine the Chargers will let Justin Herbert walk at any point. So I'm going to give him a player friendly deal. Hopefully he does accept it. I'm not going to give him too much. Player friendly. I think free agency will be better for me in the long run. So now we have to compete with other people. 43.3 is the cap hit if we franchise tag him. I don't think we're going to do that. I do not think we're going to do that just because I think we have a pretty good chance in free agency. I will try to get Austin Eckler back. I don't know about 5 years. I might just have to trade him whenever it gets to one of those years that he's regressing. So I'll give him a player friendly. That's a good offer. I'm glad we got the deal done. I don't want to have to look for another running back right now. And if I do find one without even trying to, then I will get rid of Austin Eckler. But Gerald Everett is here at 30 years old. I think I can find a better tight end, and he wants a 4-year deal, so I'm not going to be giving him that. Bryce Callahan and Chris Wormley are here, but they're not going to be coming back. Kenneth Murray Jr., though, is somebody that I want to keep on the team. He is a very young middle linebacker that we do want to come back, and he does accept the contract offer. And that's really about it right now. Matt Filer isn't anything crazy to bring back right now. Joshua Kelly is 26, and he hasn't even progressed that much, so it's not really worth it. We have to go into free agency, compete with other teams to get Justin Herbert now, and just hope that we're able to get our franchise quarterback back. All right, we are shipping Keenan Allen to Detroit. I know it is Keenan Allen, but he's regressing very quickly, and I'm going to get the value that I can get with what he is right now. He is 32 years old. Got to get something out of it. We're getting a mid-first round pick. I don't need a top one, so I'm not going to overpay for a top one. It's all QBs at the top of the draft, and there's no point of that. We're giving a third round pick, our later one, and a 6th round pick because there was like a light sliver left on it. So Keenan Allen is on the move, and this is only because I'm looking to get another wide receiver 1 for the team. And he goes by the name of T. Higgins right now. They could go with this young route. They could definitely go with this young route. Or they depend on Mike Williams to do what he does and go after Nick Bosa. But they don't have quite the money to really compete against other teams. I mean, it's a pretty even race with them right now. It is a pretty even race with them. I mean, we could wait it out. T. Higgins might not accept an offer on the first day. Nick Bosa just might. But after the first day, I'm giving my fair shot at getting Justin Herbert full full on that. Nick Bosa to team the Bosa brothers together, and Jonah Jackson. If we're able to get Nick Bosa, then our defense gets a whole lot better for the future because he is 26 and still has a lot of room to be better. Jonah Jackson is simply because we do not have a left guard right now. So we will evaluate this at the moment. They all decide, and Nick Bosa does not come to the team. So we have space to do what we need to do. Nick Bosa ends up going to the Giants. It seems like that's a constant in these rebuilds right now. So we are going to go ahead and try and get T. Higgins on the squad. He does want to come here. I want to get T. Higgins to pair alongside Justin Herbert. That would be a pretty deadly duo. Yeah, I think after the second day, we are trying to get T. Higgins and James Bradbury on the team. The cornerback room is a little weak at the moment, so we're trying to get what we can get right now. T. Higgins wants to come, and hopefully he does end up deciding to come over to the Chargers. Justin Herbert, T. Higgins, James Bradbury, and Jonah Jackson. Our offensive line is looking pretty good. We get our star quarterback back on the team. And now we have to go into the draft and see what we can do to either help the defense or the offense, because we do not have a good tight end at the moment. Going into the draft, we do have the number 4 overall pick. We'll look at the draft board right before we let them take their picks right now. I'm looking to get this not left outside linebacker. Well, he does look pretty good too. If he drops to my position, I will get this left outside linebacker. He does look pretty good. There was another one that seems to have a bright spot. He did not perform well at the combine or pro day. He's a power rusher though, so he's not going to be too fast. That is why they have us taking another man at that position, and that is the right outside linebacker, Joel Short. He has elite acceleration. Pretty good physicals overall. His stats though: A, finesse moves, B, power moves, B, block shedding, B, awareness. Bit too much in the air right now. We're gonna go ahead and simulate through these picks right now. At the first pick, Trevor Wheeler, the quarterback, gets picked by the Vikings. Tyron Gary, the right tackle, gets picked by the Bears. And Joel Short gets picked right in front of us. I didn't even get a decision. I wasn't gonna pick him, but he gets picked right before us, as we are going to be taking Anthony Webster. Got to stiffen that linebacker room again. Got to stiffen it again. With Khalil Mack leaving the team, or us trading Khalil Mack, you got to get somebody to replace it. He is hidden development and pretty good stats. 86 acceleration, 80 agility, 80 jumping, 80 speed, and 83 strength. Not bad at all. 6'5" power rusher. I think it was about... not 380, I think it was 280. But we do have the 14th pick in this draft. We'll go ahead and simulate through to that pick. I am looking for a tight end, a middle linebacker who looks pretty good. I did forget about him. He performed well at the combine and pro day. He has A, awareness, B, catching, B, hit power, B, man coverage, D, pursuit, but he's a middle linebacker, so I'm not really expecting him to be good at that. Out of LSU, a field general. Something to consider for right now. I was thinking about getting this running back in Ben Hunt. He looks decent. I don't think it's enough to pick him right now, as we just signed Austin Eckler. I think we can wait maybe another draft in order to get him. So I'm going to go ahead and take Connor Haggins. Maybe get rid of an older middle linebacker that we have right now. But he looks pretty good. Hopefully he is hidden development, and he is. He has pretty decent stats with 90 acceleration and 86 speed. Hopefully he develops alongside Kenneth Murray Jr. But I'm trying to get the defense back to where it used to be. Quincy Woodley. Elite acceleration, elite agility, and elite change of direction. Everything else is pretty decent. He's a vertical threat, so I'm not expecting his strength to be out of this world. 8 medium route, 8 spectacular to catch. C pass block isn't horrible. We're not used to having good pass blockers on the Chargers. B, break tackle, B, short route. I think this is the route that we go right now. At the top of the second, we don't have a tight end at the moment. We're going to go ahead and take Quincy Woodley, who is normal development. 6'6", 254, 22 years old, out of UCLA. 90 acceleration, 87 agility, 85 change of direction, and 86 speed. Ugh. I don't know if that was a good pick, but we do pick next. Don't know who that is. Don't need him either, because we have Broderick Jones at the right tackle position. We are looking for somebody that will make a change to the team. There's a lot of cornerbacks and wide receivers right now, and I think that might have to be the route that I go right now, because this free safety could drop a little further. Right end would probably be a good idea. Doesn't look too good. I think I might go the cornerback route just because we have a lot of aging cornerbacks. This guy looks pretty good. Sergio Bradfield, A tackle, B zone coverage, B press, B catching. I'm going to go ahead and take him. Hopefully he does end up panning out. He has good stats, just normal development, so hopefully he's a high overall. 6'1", 196 out of USC, has 94 speed. Marquise Floyd, we do have a defensive tackle, but he's not that great. We could take a chance on a young player. He has elite speed and elite acceleration. Everything else is good. Speed rusher out of Alabama. Pretty decent stats for a 3rd round. He has a lot of A to C's going on right now, so he could be good in terms of that. I'm going to go ahead and take him. Hidden development. That is what we needed at the defensive tackle position because, boy, we are struggling in that defensive line. At this point in the draft, we're just going to draft at what we need and also value because the wide receivers don't look great. This cornerback doesn't look great, but this one has some potential. Paul Thomas, a zone cornerback, has some pretty decent physicals for a 4th round pick. B zone coverage, B awareness, B tackle. We'll go ahead and take a chance on him. Hidden development in the 4th round. 6'2", 205 out of Florida. 23 years old though, so he's a bit on the older side. And at the start of the 2nd season, our line looks pretty freaking good right now. Justin Herbert is a superstar now. Hopefully he gets back up to superstar X Factor. You have T. Higgins at wide receiver 1, Mike Williams at wide receiver 2, and Joshua Palmer still at wide receiver 3. Woodley is our tight end. Hopefully he ends up developing because that would be a shame if he doesn't. Our hidden development defensive tackle is a 73 overall. Webster is only a 72 for a high 1st round pick. And Haggins is also only a 72. That's concerning. But do have the hidden development cornerback at CB5. Wow. That's also concerning. Did we get Bradfield in this draft? Or was that last draft? Oh, no, it was in this one, and he's a 77 overall. So that is definitely good for us in the cornerback room. Our cornerbacks are stacked right now. Adderley, free safety might be the next position of concern. Tranquil might be on the move. If we're not doing too well, we might just have to pack him up and hope that Haggins gets his reps by the end of the season. But team looks pretty decent right now. We just have to be able to win some games, unlike last season. But we will simulate to the midseason mark and see if we're able to do just that. And at the midseason mark, we are 3-4. Take a look at the roster first. Justin Herbert is still a superstar. Ugh, not cute. Not cute at all. Austin Eckler is a 91. The offense overall looks pretty much the same. None of our rookies have gotten past their hidden development just yet, so it seems like not enough reps so far. We have to see what the stats are, though, because we're 3-4. It's not a bad start, but it's also not the best that we could do. So, on the offensive side, 7th in offensive yards. So, we're doing pretty good so far. Justin Herbert has 15 touchdowns already. 30th in defensive yards. So, it is the defense. 2,000 yards, 15 TDs, and 2 interceptions for Justin Herbert already. I thought this was Keenan Allen for a second, but it is not. Austin Eckler has 440 and 11 TDs. Wow. Isaiah Spiller has 1. Receiving, T. Higgins has 639 and 6 TDs already. Quincy Woodley has 501 touchdown. Joshua Palmer has 425 and 5 touchdowns. We might have to get rid of Mike Williams because he's too old and too much of a contract burden right now to be keeping him on the team if he's the 4th leading receiver. Something you have to think about. Kenneth Murray Jr., the leading tackler. TFLs, Joey Bosa has 5. Tully has 4. Joseph Day has 4. And Kenneth Murray has 3 sacks. Joey Bosa is also leading in that. Haggins has 4 sacks. Webster has 3. It seems like the rookies are doing pretty decent as another rookie has 2 sacks on the season. Mike Williams, though, might have to be on the move. Who do we have to re-sign this offseason, though? 11 players ready to negotiate. The punter. The punter is ready to negotiate. Rashawn Slater. Mike Williams is up for a contract, so we definitely have to pack him up for what we can get right now. Rashawn Slater, I'm expecting to keep him for sure. Asante Samuel is somebody that I want to keep. James Bradbury, not so much. Joshua Palmer would be ideal. Tranquil just might have to go. So we could pack up Tranquil and Mike Williams. Adderley, gonna have to think about that more towards the offseason. We won't try to trade him, but we will try to see what we can get for Mike Williams and Tranquil right now. Oh, man. Oh, man. I had a recording error, but I will show you guys what moves I did make. Oh, that is so unfortunate. We re-signed Joshua Palmer and Asante Samuel and also Rashawn Slater. We have about 13 mil in cap right now, but we traded Mike Williams and Drew Tranquil for Chase Young. I was stating how Chase Young had an offseason last year, mostly because of injury. I think he can come back, especially being the star on our defensive line right now. I'm going to wait it out on trying to get the punter at the moment. I don't see a reason for me to go after him so soon. So the rest of the players aren't really that much of a concern. I'll show you guys the lineup again because you guys did not see it after the trade that we made. But our offense has Joshua Palmer playing wide receiver 2 now on an extension. Xavier Hutchinson at wide receiver 3. Austin Eckler still doing good. Justin Herbert is still a superstar, so we're hoping that he gets back up to where he was before. A lot of blue going on because our rookies still need to get their hidden development as Chase Young is leading the defensive line, so that's going to be a bright future. Joey Bosa, I have to see. He's 29. How long does he have on his contract before I simulate the rest of the season? Ooh, 2024, 2025. So he has this year, next year, and then we have to worry about his contract next year. That's going to be difficult, but we're going to simulate to the end of the season and hope that we're able to make the playoffs since we're 3-4 right now. And the Los Angeles Chargers do make the playoffs for the first time in this rebuild. We're going to look at the stats before we get into all the hidden developments that ended up panning out. 6th in offensive yards. Justin Herbert looks like he had a good season, but the defense was 25th in yards. 5,000 yards, 40 TDs, and only 6 interceptions by Justin Herbert. That is a pretty good season by him. 1,100 yards and 22 touchdowns by Austin Eckler. Isaiah Spiller had 7 touchdowns, so that is very surprising since he is the backup. Receiving, though, T. Higgins has had 1,308 TDs. Quincy Woodley had 1,108 TDs. Joshua Palmer had 1,009 TDs. Not bad overall. Not bad at all, but it seems like the defense didn't perform that well. Kenneth Murray was the leading tackler, so that's great. 17 TFLs for Chase Young, but we do have to account for the fact that he was on the Redskins before this. 11 for Joey Bosa and 10 for Joseph Day. 9 for the young player, actually the rookie right now. But sacks, 11 for Joey Bosa, 10 for Chase Young, and 4 for Anthony Webster, the rookie. We have to go ahead and see how these rookies ended up panning out on our defense. And also, nope, not on our offense. It was mostly defense this year. As we are going to go into it, does Justin Herbert have superstar X Factor yet? He doesn't, but he's up to a 95 with morale. So that is very good for us. They all ended up being stars. But they're going up in overall pretty fast, so that's a good sign for us. The defense looks great right now. The defense definitely looks great right now, as we do have to face the Buffalo Bills, who have an 88 offense but only an 81 defense. And the Buffalo Bills do start out with the ball as they get 3-and-outed on the first drive, so our defense is showing up today, unlike the regular season, as we're on 3rd and 6 and are able to convert. We're going downfield now. We're in the red zone, and we are able to get the first touchdown of the day, 7-0, as we're trying to keep the Buffalo Bills back, but their offense is just performing right now as they are able to get to the 3 with a Stephon Diggs reception, and they get the touchdown with Devin Singletary, tying up the game 7-7. As we are able to get back into the red zone and try to get a touchdown as we do. 14-7, the Buffalo Bills have the ball once again and are past the 50-yard mark and are in the red zone and end up getting another touchdown, tying up the game once again as the Chargers keep trying to keep this lead. First down in field goal range, a sack on Terrell Lewis as we get to the 4 with Joshua Palmer. 2nd and goal. third and goal, and are able to get the touchdown with Quincy Woodley right before the end of the half. We just have to keep them back as they get a big reception to Isaiah McKenzie. Getting to the 44, they get to the 41, but they get sacked. Tooley and gets sacked again by Joey Bosa, and we completely knock them out of field goal range, and they end up punting it to us. 17 seconds left. We're just going to run out the first half as we do start out with the ball in the second half. We had a big pass play, but get sacked on the next 3rd and 8 and are not able to convert. So we have to punt it back to the Buffalo Bills as our defense is showing up right now, but we're not able to show up on those plays as they're getting downfield as they please and are able to tie up the game 21-21. The Chargers trying to do anything to keep this lead in the game, 3rd and 12, and are able to convert. They're getting into field goal range, get into the red zone, and are at the 1. All they have to do is run it in, and that's exactly what they do with Isaiah Spiller at the goal line. As the Buffalo Bills have the ball once again, they get sacked, but then get those yardage right back and end up converting on 3rd down as they are getting past the 50 and are not able to do much once they do that. 4th and 8 and end up punting it away. And the Chargers have the ball once again. They can extend it to a big lead, but 4th and inches. Do they go for it? They do not. They end up punting it. And a penalty on Sergio Bradfield, the cornerback, makes them go into field goal range as they are going downfield as they please and end up tying up the game. The Chargers have a chance to take this lead and run away with it, and they're getting some big plays right now. They get into field goal range. It looks like they might just settle for the field goal, and they end up missing the field goal. With a minute left, the Buffalo Bills only have to get into field goal range, get knocked back by a sack, 2nd and 16 at the 44, and we have to go into overtime. We get the ball first. All we have to do is score. 3rd and 10, and we're able to get a 27-yard reception to Joshua Palmer. We get into field goal range. We are going downfield right now, and we get the touchdown. But the Buffalo Bills have a chance right now. It is the playoffs. I thought that was only in a Super Bowl. 3rd and 4, 4th and 4. They might have to go for it, and they end up converting. They have to get a touchdown in order to stay into the game. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 2, 4th and 2. And they were not able to convert, and the Chargers win the wild card round against the higher-seeded Buffalo Bills. And in the divisional, we are facing the Kansas City Chiefs. We almost traded Mike Williams and Tranquil to the Chiefs, but they did not have the salary cap space, and I was not taking one of their older players with more salary. So 13-4 versus 10-7. They have a much better team. We just have to somehow come out on top today as the Chiefs start off with the ball today, and they are able to convert on 3rd down, 3rd and 10 once again, and they're just getting what they want right now as they do get their first touchdown of the day, 7-0, as the Chargers offense is trying to respond in some way. 3rd and 6, and turn it over with an interception to L'Jarius Sneed. 3rd and 12, 3rd and 17, and are still able to convert. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 7, 4th and 7, and they take the field goal, making it a 10-0 lead. We simply cannot do anything on offense right now as they got a penalty, then they got another penalty on Kadarius Toney, and then we're able to get those yards back with Alan Lazard on the Chiefs. 3rd and 7, 4th and 7. They take the field goal, making it a 13-0 game. We have to be able to answer in some way to be able to stay in this. We're in field goal range. We do convert on 3rd down, 3rd and 8, and get the touchdown with Isaiah Spiller with an 11-yard touchdown. Bringing us back into the game, 13-7. The Chiefs are going downfield, though. The defense has to be able to stop them as they're not able to, making it a 20-7 game. But the Chargers are answering back on offense right now and turn it over to Justin Reed with a pick. Patrick Mahomes, passes thrown away, 3rd and 7, 4th and 7, and the defense performs, but we have to somehow get back over there as we do. 3rd and 10, and we have to take the field goal, 20-10 before the end of the half, and they just run out the clock. We end up getting the ball first at the half. We were able to do just a bit. 3rd and 10, 1st and 10. We're getting downfield right now. 2nd and 5, 2nd and 15. A 10-yard penalty on Corey Linsley. We get sacked by Chris Jones, and we get 14 yards, but not enough to get a first. And we take the field goal, making it a 7-point game as the Chiefs have the ball once again, and we're able to stop them. 4th and 11. Our offense just has to be able to score a touchdown to tie up the game right now. We get past the 50. We get into field goal range. We're in the red zone at the start of the 4th. And we are able to get the touchdown to tie up the game. 20-20. Our defense just has to stop them as they do. Our defense is showing up in the second half right now. And our offense just has to do the same. At least get some points up on the board. 4th and 4. And we're able to make the field goal 57-yarder. But he couldn't make a PAT the last time. 2nd and 10. And they get a 27-yard reception to Mecole Hardman. 3rd and inches. 1st and 10. They're getting into field goal range. And they're able to get the touchdown with Mecole, making it a 4-point game. Oh, they missed. They missed the extra point. So we can make a field goal to tie up the game. Or we can get a touchdown to just finish it off as we get a penalty on Rashad Slater. 3rd and 20. 4th and 7. And we try to go for it and throw a pick to L'Jarius Sneed. And that just might be it. As they take the field goal, 48 seconds left on the clock with no timeouts. 2nd and 10. 1st and 10. 2nd and 10 again with the pass thrown away. We're getting to the 50. Somehow 15 seconds left. A 7-yard reception. 2 seconds left at the 29. And that's the last play of the game. And the Kansas City Chiefs move on to the AFC Conference Championship. And clearly we do not have the team to be taking us to the Super Bowl right now. And at the end of the season, the Bengals win the Super Bowl against the Panthers. Logan Wilson winning Super Bowl MVP. None of our players won any awards. Not surprising because it seemed more of like a team effort than anything. We have 23 mil in cap right now. Now is the time where we have to really think about Nazir Adderley, who went up in age, going to 28, and so did Sebastian Joseph Day. Ooh. I think really the only one is going to be the punter. He's a pretty decent punter. Now he has interest in coming back, so I'm going to go ahead and sign him to a neutral deal. Keep him for 1 year. We have 21 mil going into free agency. See who's there and just hope that we're able to do something with these picks and also this free agency to add to the team. All right, it looks like the only position that we're really going to be going after today is free safety. All the other positions we're set at the moment, at least not enough to be paying as much as the players want right now. Eddie Jackson is 31. We're competing with the Commanders. I wouldn't be mad if we got him, and I also wouldn't be mad if we weren't able to. We can look in a draft to get a free safety, but we're going to go ahead and find out if he ends up coming to us, and he does not. He ends up going to, I'm assuming, the Commanders. I was going to try to get Micah Parsons, but we have our young right outside linebacker there. I'm not just going to take his whole career away just because we want to get Micah Parsons. And we probably wouldn't have been able to compete because when I tried to give him an offer, we weren't in the hunt. Lindstrom, we don't need. We have a right guard in Zion Johnson. Pratt Firemove. We have our young tight end. Darius Slay, for the money that he wanted, I'm not paying him that much at 34 years old. Teron Johnson, I was a little too focused on trying to get Eddie Jackson, but our cornerbacks are pretty good right now. And defensive tackle, we also have the young players. So I'm trying to build up this team with the players that we have right now and see what we can do in the draft. Really, we don't need to be spending money right now. We could save it for next offseason because this offseason isn't really that big of a deal for us. We might have to worry about re-signing a bunch of young players next year. We are the 27th pick, and they have us taking a wide receiver, which is an interesting choice because we just re-signed Joshua Palmer. Telvon Johnson would be pretty solid. He has elite strength, doesn't have the best speed in the world. F juke move. Is he a power back? Yeah. So A stiff arm, B carrying, A break tackle. It's not that deep of a class, to be honest with you. I have to look for free safety in this class because that would most likely be the only position that we're really looking for. So this seems to be the best free safety in the class out of Wisconsin. He's a run support free safety. His physicals aren't the greatest. They're not bad, but they're not great. A hit power, C zone coverage, B block shedding, B awareness. All right, and now we are in the third draft of the rebuild, and we're looking for someone specific right now since we weren't able to make many moves, especially for a position of need that we have right now. We're trying to get it now at the free safety position if I'm able to get it, but it doesn't seem so because he already got took. It seems like this free safety is the next best right now. His physicals are pretty solid. His skills are pretty good too. He has A hit power, A tackle. I'm assuming he's run support out of Louisville. 21 years old. Keith Rosenberg looks pretty good right now. I think I am just going to go ahead and take him. Hope that he ends up being good because we need a free safety right now. And he's going to be thrown into the fire. He has good stats, but normal development. So that's not very good for us right now. 92 acceleration, 88 speed, 88 agility. We'll just have to see how he performs. This right outside linebacker, Brandon Cartwright, looks pretty good. A zone coverage, A man coverage, A pursuit, A tackle, B play recognition, pass coverage linebacker, elite agility and elite speed, and performed very well at the combine. I think I'm gonna give my try at him. I mean, we already have a right outside linebacker that we drafted last year, but I mean, this is a top round one talent falling to the second round, and we're almost to the third round at this point. Joe Cook, defensive tackle. Looks pretty solid for a round 3 pick right now. F hit power though, but he has B injury. Wait, that doesn't matter at all. I thought he had better stats than that. Well, in season 3 of the rebuild, Justin Herbert's back to a superstar X Factor, so that is going to help us a good amount. Our tight end is now a superstar, as we basically expected with the stats that he had. I'm glad that he finally got there. He was normal development, so he jumped a pretty good amount. Chase Young is a superstar as well. Floyd is only a star, but it seems like our line is pretty solid, so we do not have to worry about that right now. Rosenberg is the rookie. Webster is developing well. Was Webster not hit in development? Did he drop? That's not going to help us. Cornerback room looks pretty good. I mean, just got to hope that they end up performing, really. Our offense also just has to perform. T. Higgins is now the wide receiver 1 very clearly since we traded Mike Williams last season. He wasn't free agency, but I was not going to sign him. But we will go ahead and simulate to the midseason mark, see how we do in season 3 of the rebuild, and see if we can make a push in the playoffs. I'm expecting this to be really a 5-year rebuild, but we'll see how this goes. All right, well, we are 4-3 right now, which isn't horrible. We'll look at the roster first, see if there's anything different with the team. Everybody basically looks the same on the offensive side of things. On the defensive side of things, also the same. It's not bad. At least they haven't gone down at all. We have to see what the stats look like because we are 4-3 with a pretty good team. 5th in offensive yards. It should be at that point. 25th in defensive yards. We have a solid defense, but yet we are struggling on the defensive side. 2,100 yards, 9 TDs, and only 1 interception halfway through the season. That's a pretty good stat line for Justin Herbert. 496 and 7 TDs for Austin Eckler, and I think he's in his age 30 season right now. Receiving, T. Higgins has 504 touchdowns. Joshua Palmer has 455 and 2. Xavier Hutchinson with 442 and 1. And Quincy's doing his thing too. Defense, though, the leading tackler is Kenneth Murray Jr. Our TFL leader is Joey Bosa with Thule right behind him. And Chase Young with 3 as well. And sacks, Joey Bosa is also leading in sacks, 5.5. Chase Young has 5. And Thule has 2.5. So, a pretty decent outing right now. We have to see who is up for a brand new contract this offseason. We have 72 mil, and Joey Bosa is one of them. Give him a player-friendly deal. It is going to take a big chunk, but it's Joey Bosa. Like, can't just let him walk. Offer is perfect. Can't wait till next year. So we get Joey Bosa back. Now, Corey Linsley wants an $11.6 million in total contract. It would bring us down to 38.9, and only for 1 year. So it might be okay. Try to get him back. Happy to sign and continue. Okay, so we keep our right guard of the future. Jonah Jackson is 28. Not too crazy about that one. Isaiah Spiller is somebody a priority right now, so we will go ahead and get him back because he's a great backup for us right now. And if push come to shove, Austin Eckler has to go, then we have Isaiah Spiller to fill in that role, and he's been doing great. So Donald Parham has been a solid, can't even negotiate with him, but he's been a solid tight end. Hopefully he keeps being that. We can wait on the punter, Jonah Jackson. I'll just have to see how we finish off the season. I'm not too convinced that we'll get much for Jonah, so I'm going to see what I can do about Corey Linsley. If not, then I'll probably re-sign him in the offseason and not do it right now. We are packing up Corey Linsley and 2 fourths for Frank Ragnow. The only reason why I'm doing that is because Frank Ragnow is a lot younger than Corey Linsley, and he's a higher overall, of course. But for some reason, he wasn't being valued at what he really is, to be honest. I mean, I don't think he has a contract coming up. No, I'll have to check to make sure, but the cap hit was still a lot for Corey Linsley, and I'm okay with paying whatever Frank Ragnow is getting at the moment. I don't think it's too much. He's 29. Corey Linsley was 34, and he's packed up for the next 2 years, so I think we'll be solid for right now. We'll worry about that contract when it comes to it, but I think that's really about it right now. We will go ahead and simulate to the end of the season, though. Hope that we're able to do something in terms of making the playoffs and try to make a push with the team that we have. And we finish off the season with a 9-8 record. We're facing the Texans in the first round with Bryce Young. We were 11th in offensive yards. It seems like Justin Herbert did not finish well. 20th in defensive, 4,800 yards, 29 TDs, and 9 interceptions. Is not the best with the way that he started. 1,200 rushing yards and 14 TDs with Austin Eckler, as Isaiah Spiller had 12 touchdowns. That is great. That is great for us because he's going to keep developing with that. T. Higgins, 1,300 yards and 8 TDs. Joshua Palmer just gets over 1,000 and gets 6 TDs. Quincy Woodley, our superstar tight end, 939 and 5 TDs. Overall, pretty good outing by the receiving core if I can get to the defense. Kenneth Murray is the leading tackler once again. 14 TFLs for Chase Young, 14 for Thule, 8 for Marquise Floyd. Joey Bosa only had 7 though. Bit concerning, just a bit concerning. 9.5 sacks for Chase Young, 9 for Joey Bosa, 7.5 for Thule, and 5.5 for Marquise Floyd. So our defensive line is definitely showing out, and also our rushing end in Joey Bosa is also showing out. So that is fantastic for us. Before we get into the game, we're going to take a look at the roster and see if anybody has changed in development traits. Does not seem so, but where's Broderick Jones? Madden has issues. All right, so I changed Broderick Jones' position to right tackle, and for some reason they put Rashawn Slater over there. Well, I'll just let them deal with that. Offense looks pretty much similar to what it was at the start of the season, and so does the defense, so that's also good, but also bad because we have not developed at all. But we are going to get into this Texans game as we're playing at Energy Stadium, so going into their house, hopefully we can come out on top. All right, and the Chargers do start off with the ball as they are going downfield very slowly. 2nd and 14, 3rd and 3. They're able to get into field goal range. They get sacked, but get a 7-yard rush back and throw an interception to Jerome Baker. And the Texans now have the ball. They convert on 3rd down as they're going downfield, but gets almost stopped, but they get to the 1 and get the touchdown. 7-0. The Texans are up 6-0 actually because they missed a PAT as it is 4th and 3, so we have to punt it away to the Texans. But an interception by J.C. Jackson puts us at the 2. Pass is thrown away and they rush it in with Austin Eckler and make the PAT, taking the lead in the game 7-6 as the Texans now have the ball. They are moving downfield very slowly and they get the touchdown and make the extra point this time. 13-7. All we have to really do is get a penalty by Marcus Peters to move us 15 yards ahead as we are getting into field goal range, getting to the zone of where we can possibly get a touchdown. 3rd and 10, and we're not able to convert as we're going to have to take the field goal. 13-10 in the second quarter at the 2-minute warning as we get the ball back with enough time to go downfield, but we throw a pick and put them at the 11, and they're able to get a touchdown before the end of the half. Justin Herbert is not playing his best today. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 2 as we get a big reception to Isaiah Spiller, and we have to try to get a touchdown before the end of the half as we do. 20-17, make it a 3-point deficit for us. And that ends the first half, and the Texans do start off with the ball, and the defense just has to show up, but they are not able to. They get a touchdown to extend it to a 10-point lead, and we now have the ball 4th and 3. We end up punting it away, but a sack by Tooley gets them 8 yards back. 3rd and 14, 4th and 14. They have to punt it back to us as we get sacked again. 3rd and 6. And another sack by Jerome Baker, and we have to punt it away. We put them at the 3. Doesn't matter because they get out of that 4th and inches, and they end up punting it on 4th and inches and put us at the 1. 2nd and 7, 3rd and 5, get the first down, and we throw a pick, and they immediately get a touchdown to Van Jefferson. We're getting blown out right now if we don't pick it up, as we do right now. 34-24, 4 minutes and 44 seconds left. They punt it to us. We have the ball once again, but we have to be able to do something. 3rd and 14, a penalty gets us the first down, and Austin Eckler gets a 69-yard rush. We still have all of our timeouts. All we have to do is get a stop, as it seems like we are going to be able to do that, and they punt it and put us at the 7. All we have to do is get another touchdown before the end of the game in order to win. 3rd and 3, 4th and 3. Are we going to take the field goal? We missed a 52-yard field goal. And that's the way that we end the game. Oh, that's horrible. We came back down by almost 3 touchdowns. All we needed was that field goal to tie it up, and Jake Moody misses it in one of the clutchest times that he could be making it. Bryce Young moves on to the divisional round. And at the end of the 2025 season, the Seahawks win by 1 against the Chiefs. The Kenneth Walker gets Super Bowl MVP, as none of our players get any awards. Not a great look for us right now. We're going into the re-signing period once again, but we do not have to worry about a center now because we have Frank Ragnow. We have to see what else there is. We do have the punter to re-sign. That is somebody that we should be re-signing just because it's hard to find good punters sometimes. We have 47 mil in cap room. Jonah Jackson, Rigoberto Sanchez. I think I'm going to get Rigoberto back. Sign him to a 1-year deal. Happy to sign with the organization. 45 mil left. I think I'm going to wait it out on trying to get Jonah Jackson. There is a right guard in this draft. I'll go ahead and show y'all. I'm not too convinced about him. He's supposed to go last in the first round. His physicals are projected to be pretty decent. I mean, he's a power blocker, but he has C pass block power. So that's not a good look. He has B pass block, C stamina. He has A to C almost everything else. Josh Mobley, a power blocker out of USC, looks pretty good statistically. Run block power is an A. Run block is a B. It seems like everything else is going to be pretty good. Josh Mobley, I didn't see him anywhere in the mock draft. So that means that he's probably going in the high 2nd round, which means that we should probably just take him at the position that we're at. Josh Mobley. Yeah, no, I don't see him anywhere. So that could be our pick. Just so we do not have to re-sign Jonah Jackson to the deal that he wants. We get a rookie and put him on a rookie contract and not have to worry about him for 5 years. So basically, as long as this rebuild goes. Retirement. Oh, Khalil Mack retired, so that's good for him. Aaron Donald finally retired. The Chargers had nobody retire, so that is fantastic for us. Nothing too surprising. So we will go into free agency, see what we can do with the $45 million that we have. Not too concerned about any of these positions since not going to get Jonah Jackson back. Pretty anticlimactic free agency, but the only player that I have remotely any interest in is Drake London out of USC. He could add to our wide receiver room right now. I'm not 100% sure as to Joshua Palmer's contract. I think we did re-sign him last year, so I think we're good on him for a while. Drake London would be another great wide receiver in that room. Xavier Hutchinson seems to not be doing the job at wide receiver 3. Just save the rest of the money at that point. We'll go ahead and see if we get Drake London right now. And we do end up getting Drake London for 2 years, so that's going to help us a great deal. 11.8 mil. Doesn't take much from our salary cap, because if I do check, I don't think that Justin Herbert's up for a contract soon. Neither's T. Higgins. So I think we're pretty solid right now. We're going to be drafting a left guard in the draft. Yeah, Justin Herbert is locked up until 2030. So we are solid. We are more than solid right now. Austin Eckler, we might have to look into running back in these upcoming drafts. That is a horrible player model for Austin Eckler. 2028 is when his contract is up. All right, and we are pick 21 in the 2026 NFL draft. We're just going to go ahead and skip forward. I already have my eyes set on an offensive lineman of choice, and it is going to be, if he's still here, yes, the left guard, Josh Mobley. Glad the right guard got took because I didn't want him anyways. Power blocker. His physicals look great for an offensive lineman. Skills, B awareness, A impact blocking, A run block power, B run block. I'm sure the other ones are going to pan out pretty good, but Josh Mobley is normal development. I think I'm going to go ahead and trade our second round pick. To be quite honest with you, I was looking through all the prospects and there's just nothing that's worth the time, worth the effort in terms of prospects and keeping them on the roster and paying them especially. So we're going to be trading for next year's 2027 draft picks from the Detroit Lions, their second and their fourth, for our second round pick right now. A pretty good deal because they don't seem like they're doing pretty good since they do have the #1 overall pick in this draft. So we'll have to see if I'm going to keep trying to trade our picks away to get some draft capital for next year. See what I can do with that, and if not, just keep it until the next draft. And we're going to go ahead and take this package from the Carolina Panthers. Everything else is a little bit of like wishy-washy because it has a 6th and a 7th, and I'm not going to be using those usually. We're going to get it from the Panthers just because everything else has a pick either from this year or it's what I said, the 7th pick or a 6th pick that we don't want. So we will go ahead and take the one from the Panthers just to get rid of this 3rd round pick, and then we'll keep dealing the rest of the picks that we have. All right, we're going to be sending our 5th, 6th, and 7th round picks to the Bears for their 4th round pick next year. More worried about the next draft. I really didn't see any rookies worth the time other than our left guard that we got. So hopefully he ends up panning out, but we're just going to sim to the end of the draft and see how this roster looks. And at the start of the 4th season, T. Higgins, Drake London, and Joshua Palmer are the 3 wide receivers of the team. Austin Eckler is still a 90 overall. Mobley is a 76, so that's great for us. Hopefully he does develop just a bit to be on the same level as the rest of the offensive line. The defense, again, Thule is star, and our defensive line looks pretty good. They just have to keep developing. Asante Samuel is an 87 overall as he keeps going up. He might be our cornerback 1 at some point. Rosenberg, still kind of the same. Not a great look, but he's solid. So at the moment, he's going to be there. Webster is a 77, and he's back at right outside linebacker. 88 overall team. Just have to win games. That's all we have to do. But we will simulate to the midseason mark and hopefully win more games than the rest of the division. And at the midseason mark, we are 3-4. A 91 overall offense, an 87 overall defense, and an 89 overall team is 3-4. We'll look at the roster first, see what's going on. I did change up the schemes to fit the offense and defense better. Everybody's basically the same on the offensive side, so good. Also could be bad. Defense, we are running 2 defensive tackles, so could have been something that is hurting us right now, but I wouldn't see that as an issue at the moment. Cornerbacks are all great at the moment. Just the same team. It's the same team right now that's been doing what they do. I tried to fix it and see if the schemes were the issue. 6th in offensive yards. Seems like the change in the offensive side has done something. 17th in defensive yards. Okay. 2,000 yards, 16 TDs, and 2 interceptions for Justin Herbert. 16 TDs. We probably could be facing a lot of divisional teams, and we just haven't been doing well against them. So hopefully that's it. Austin Eckler, 433 and 6 TDs. Seems like Isaiah Spiller has not touched the ball in terms of getting it into the end zone. Receiving, though, Quincy Woodley is the leading receiver, 590 and 3 TDs. T. Higgins has 472 and 4 TDs. Palmer is there with 5 TDs. Not bad. Overall defense, again, Kenneth Murray is the leading tackler. Marquise Floyd has the most TFLs. Kenneth Murray has 3. Joey Bosa has 3. And where's Chase Young? 2. All right. 7.5 sacks for Chase Young. That's what he's making up for it. Joey Bosa, 6.5. And Marquise Floyd with 3. Just seems like the defense is not doing enough right now. And they actually have the most scheme fit. So I guess we're just going to have to see who's up for a contract right now. 86 mil, Derwin James at the age of 30. Now Frank Ragnow is up for a contract. So is Chase Young. And J.C. Jackson. Oh my gosh, Broderick Jones too. Okay, I'm going to try to get the younger players first and then worry about the older players after I finish with that. I'm going to get Broderick Jones first. We need our right tackle to stay. If he accepts this, need a bigger offer. I tried to test it just because his re-sign interest was high. J.C. Jackson wants a 1-year deal. Still a superstar, 89 overall. I don't think it's going to take a lot of the cap. We'll do this. Exactly the offer that he was looking for. 60 mil left. Chase Young is somebody that we're definitely trying to keep. Give him a player-friendly deal. Not considering shorter deals at the moment. That was actually a longer deal if you weren't illiterate. That's a 4-year deal. 3 and 4. Hopefully we can turn it around by the end of the season and make the playoffs and actually make a push this time. Wow. Wow. We finished the season 7 and 10. We are wasting years on these players. So disappointing. It is so disappointing. Justin Herbert is up to a 97. The team is good. I just don't understand what the issue is right now. Is it the defense? It must be the defense, but what is there to replace? Like, maybe a right outside linebacker? Do we have to trade for a right outside linebacker? Is that what we have to do to really get us to win some games? Because we just can't win them. We're 7 and 10. We might even be at the top of the draft at this point. We do have our first round pick, so that's good for us because I'm glad I didn't trade it last season. 6th in offensive yards. It's definitely the defense. We have to do something about it. 14th in defensive yards. We're better than half the league, and we can't even make the playoffs. Justin Herbert almost had 5,000 yards, 39 TDs, and 14 interceptions. Austin Eckler once again gets over 1,000 yards, 13 TDs. Receiving, Quincy Woodley is the leading receiver with 1,150 and 9 TDs. Drake London with 1,085 and 3 TDs. Joshua Palmer had 13 TDs and almost 1,000 yards. T. Higgins had 1,074 and 4 TDs. Wow. Definitely we're passing it a lot. Kenneth Murray, again, leading tackler. Marquise Floyd is the TFL leader. Chase Young with 10. Joey Bosa with 9. Joey Bosa is only getting older right now. Sacks, 13.5 for Chase Young, 9 for Joey Bosa, and 5 for Marquise Floyd. We have to figure out what the issue is. I know it's the defensive side more than anything. I just don't know what we have to specifically fix. Maybe free safety and right outside linebacker. Hopefully there's that in this free agency. We didn't spend any money last free agency because of it, so we'll have to see in free agency for sure. And at the end of the 2026 season, the Commanders make the Super Bowl, but the Bills beat them by 3 with Matt Milano winning Super Bowl MVP in 2026. Wow. None of our players winning any awards. Not a good look for us right now. Not a good look at all. To be honest with you, I don't even know what to do with the team. But we have to go into the re-signing period, see if we're able to get Broderick Jones back at the right tackle position. We got our strong safety. We got most of the older players. I think Broderick Jones is really the only one that's left to really re-sign. And the kicker and punter, of course. Don't want that, so we'll give him a very player-friendly deal. Happy to sign and continue. All right. So we do not have to worry about him going into free agency. 54 mil in cap left. I mean, give him a player-friendly deal. We got to keep him at any cost. Happy to sign with the organization. 39 mil left. Wow. Tuli's a great left end. He's a great left end. He doesn't want to stay with the team, though. We are killing our cap right now. We need some to get something. I enjoyed playing for you, but not a good look for us. Not a good look for us. Jake Moody hopefully just comes back on this exactly the offer that he was looking for. And get the punter back as well, just so we don't have to worry about anything. All right, cool. He didn't have much interest in coming back, but he still ends up coming back anyways. Franchise tag is 17 million. You got that. Darius Rush is not going to be coming back. I remember drafting him, and he just hasn't panned out at all. We pack up our number 8 pick, a 4th round pick, and a 5th round pick for the number 5 pick. I'm looking for a specific prospect right now, and that's really all I'm basically looking for to get in the drafts. We do have a lot of draft picks, so if we're not able to make much moves in free agency right now, then we're definitely going to be trading a lot of picks and just keep that first one. Because, oh, Quincy Woodley is superstar X Factor. Austin Eckler retired. Oh, Lord. Oh my goodness. Austin Eckler retired. Oh no. We're going out to positions of need right now. John Johnson III, he is 31. He'll be signed for 3 years. Free safety is a position of need because the rookie's not doing anything, or the young player is not doing anything. He hasn't developed basically whatsoever. And Frankie Louvu, we're in competition with 3 other teams. Hopefully we at least get one of these players because it would suck otherwise. I do want to try to get Fred Warner, but I will only try to do that if I don't get any of these players. Frankie Lou still hasn't decided. John Johnson is coming to the team. Fred Wagner already made a decision, and he is going to the Commanders. I was not going to pay him that much, so I'm glad he got his money, but that is not my concern anymore. All right, we're going to pack up our 5th pick and a 5th round pick and a 6th round pick for the 3rd overall pick. Not going to use the late picks. Not worth having them if I can use them to move ahead in the draft. Worth it for what I can get, because now I do have Frankie Louvu at the outside linebacker position, so I do not need the player that I was planning to go after. Now I need a right end because Tuli went to the Seahawks. So we're going to go ahead and move forward to the draft, see what we can do. I'm going to draft the right end and think about if I want to draft a halfback or just trade for one. Bit of a desperation mode right now. I'm not too confident in these halfbacks in this draft. And if we go through another season without a halfback, since Austin Eckler decided to up and leave in the middle of his contract, it's not worth it. Bijan Robinson is on the Cowboys. Tony Pollard is getting reps ahead of him. Him being on our team is going to help not only him, but us. We're trading a late second or a mid-second, our 3rd round pick this year, but that's our late 3rd rounder, and then our 3rd round pick next year, because I want to have a 3rd round pick this year. So we still have a 1st round pick, 2nd round pick, and 3rd round pick. We also have a 7th round pick. That's not going to matter. But we get Bijan Robinson on the team. There's really no point of trying to keep realism right now, just because we're in 2027 right now. We don't know what realism is going to be by that point, or realisticness. You bring Bijan Robinson to the Chargers after Austin Eckler retires out of nowhere. A superstar basically just replaces him. Isaiah Spiller is still here as the backup. I just don't have confidence in him being the starter. Wide receivers look good. Just got to go into the draft looking for the positions that you need, being right end and possibly defensive tackle, actually. So I will be looking for that with our 2nd round pick, but glad that we were able to do something about the halfback position. All right, now in the draft, we are the 3rd overall pick. Go ahead and see what the Falcons get. They do get the quarterback that was supposed to go at the top of the draft. The Chargers get Kelvin Webster. So that's great for us because we did not want him. We wanted Tony Morris because we need a right end very desperately. Hopefully he pans out. He's a speed rusher, 6'3", 269 out of Wyoming. Physicals are pretty good. Skills, pretty good too. Hopefully he's good. Tony Morris, hidden development, 90 acceleration, 84 speed, 80 strength, and 84 jumping. Needed a right end. He's going to fulfill that for right now. So in the case that we are not able to get Bijan Robinson back, if he if the contract dispute happens or whatever. Zach Coffey is going to be our backup for right now. He's 5'10", 204 out of Texas. I mean, he's also out of Texas. Hopefully he's good. His physicals are pretty good. Stats are decent. There's just a lot of unknown for us right now. It's the second round. Defensive tackle I'm going to be taking in the third round. So Zach Coffey at this position is hidden development. They had us taking that other running back. There was another running back that was in the same position as Zach Coffey at the 3rd overall pick in the first round. That's not happening. 90 speed, 85 jumping, 93 change of direction, 91 agility, and 90 acceleration. Pretty good. Pretty good to be a backup right now. Hopefully we're able to get the defense tackle that we need and then move on to the next season. All right, Terrence Greenwood is here. He's solid. We just need a defensive tackle too. Physicals are fantastic. Skills, decent as well. A tackle, A finesse moves, A play recognition. He's a speed rusher out of Florida State, so hopefully he is good. Another hidden development player. We are on fire right now in terms of hidden development, and that's going to do it for this draft, really. The next one is a 4th round pick. I'll see what I can get. Eli Teague looks pretty solid at the strong safety position. Derwin James is up to a superstar right now, but I'm not too confident that he's going to maintain that. We're going to go ahead and get Eli Teague. Not that great. Just going to be a backup for right now, but that is going to do it for this draft. And at the start of Season 5 of the rebuild, Justin Herbert is still the star quarterback. Bijan Robinson at halfback. T. Higgins, Drake London, Joshua Palmer, the same 3 wide receivers as last season. Quincy Woodley is a superstar X Factor still. And the team looks pretty good. Greenwood is a 74 overall, and we got him in the 3rd round. That was a great pickup for us. We have some trade offers for Webster here, but I'm just going to keep him there. It doesn't hurt to keep him because Louvu is also 30. So the older he gets, he could get worse, and then Webster can just come in and actually do something. Teague did not end up being a great overall. So the team looks great overall. Hopefully we win games. That's all I'm worried about right now. We need to win games and just be able to do something by the midseason mark. And once again, we go 3-4 in this season. At least the Chiefs aren't doing that good. 6th in offensive yards. The defense, it has to be 27th in defensive yards. Come on, y'all. 2,000 yards, 13 TDs, and 8 interceptions. It doesn't seem like Justin Herbert's doing much better than the defense. Bijan Robinson has 500 yards and 3 TDs. Zach Coffey hasn't got much of a chance. Receiving, T. Higgins, 550 and 2 TDs. Joshua Palmer with almost 503 TDs. Drake London with 403. Quincy Woodley with 350 and 3. Defense. Kenneth Murray is the leading tackler once again. TFLs, Chase Young with 5. Greenwood with 4. Morris with 4. Sacks. Chase Young is also leading in that with 8. Joey Bosa has 4. And Marquise Floyd has 2.5. It's basically the same. It's basically the same. Everything seems to just be the same. Greenwood ended up being a star, but is a 78 overall right now. Seems like for morale, team play. Okay. Don't know what team play that is because we're 3-4. But our right end is yet to have his hidden development be revealed. Players ready to negotiate. Go ahead and see T. Higgins, Rashawn Slater, J.C. Jackson, Quincy Woodley, Drake London, Joshua Palmer, all of our wide receivers and more. Our whole team, basically. And we only have $69 million to work with. Definitely going to focus on getting Quincy Woodley back right now. He wants to stay with the team. A neutral deal should do it. Excited to sign such a great offer. All right, so it doesn't take too much off of us. Rashawn Slater is the next up right now, though. Neutral deal. No longer term commitment, no deal. See if he accepts this. Happy to sign. All right, so we keep T. Higgins right now. Drake London. Joshua Palmer might have to go. See if he accepts this. Need to convince me more. That's fine. You can convince yourself because you're not too convincing yourself. Not pretty right now. Not pretty right now. A neutral deal for Drake London. Not negotiating on the years. Up it or move on. All right. Well, we just got a bunch of rude people on the team. And everybody else we can't really negotiate until the end of the season. think we'll have the cap space, though. We really just have to win. We really just have to win right now. Quincy Woodley is developing. We're keeping him for the foreseeable future. So I will simulate to the end of the season. Hopefully we bounce back 3-4. Just got to do better. All right, well, we do make the playoffs. End up going, I think, a pretty even record. We went 6-4 to end the season, 9-8 to finish it off. Let's see if the defense ended up picking it up. Hopefully they did. 10th in offensive yards. Seems to not be able to finish it off. 15th in defensive isn't horrible. Justin Herbert had 4,700, 43 TDs, and 12 interceptions. Bijan had 1,228 and 9 TDs. Wow. That was a great pickup. T. Higgins, our wide receiver 1 of the future, 1,300 yards, 8 TDs. Joshua Palmer had 1,150 and 13 TDs. Quincy Woodley had 991 and 10 TDs. Drake London is at the bottom of the barrel right now, so hopefully that kind of depreciates his value a little bit in the contract signings. 146 tackles for Kenneth Murray this season. That's insane. Chase Young had 20 TFLs. Marquise Floyd had 16. Greenwood had 16. The rookie. Sacks. Chase Young also led in that, 12.5. Joey Bosa had 9, and Marquise Floyd had 7.5, with Greenwood getting 6. They really picked it up. They really did pick it up. Did they develop at all in terms of development trades? Because that would help us a great deal. On the offensive side, nothing new. Nothing new as of right now. If Isaiah Spiller ends up needing another contract, I don't think I will be signing him since Zach Coffey is on the team. Now, on the defensive side, still the same. Still the same thing going on. Asante Samuel is a CB1. Derwin James is up to a 97. We need to just take this into the playoffs. We need to be able to beat this New England Patriots team that went 11-6. All right, and the Patriots do start off with the ball and end up moving downfield pretty quickly, but the defense seems to be picking it up. 4th and 10, and they punt it to us. Our offense just has to be able to perform right now as they do get into field goal range and end up getting the first touchdown of the day, 7-0. We have to be able to stop them on the defensive side, though, in order to keep this lead, and they tie it up 7-7, and the Chargers get 1st and 10, 2nd and 6, 3rd and 6. Not enough to get the first down as they do have to punt it away. 5 minutes left in the second quarter, and the Patriots are moving downfield to get another touchdown on the day. Chargers want to answer back after giving that up. 3rd and 4, and they get sacked by Josh Uche at the 39-yard line. But we make the field goal with Jake Moody, making it a 4-point game. 3rd and 5, 4th and 5. They end up punting it to us, and we return it for a good amount of yardage. We're in field goal range. 2nd and 10, 2nd and 5 because of a penalty on the defensive tackle. 3rd and 5, and 1st and goal because of Quincy Woodley getting a 27-yard reception. 3rd and goal, and we do end up getting the touchdown right before the half. 17-14. They are moving downfield right now with 17 seconds left on the clock. 14 seconds, and they punt it away. I thought that was a field goal. And we do end up maintaining the lead as we do get the ball first in the second half. And we are moving downfield right now as we do get the touchdown. 24-14, a 10-point lead for the Chargers right now. We could possibly be moving on in the playoffs if we're able to hold this lead. And they try to do a fake punt but are not successful. The Chargers get the ball back at the 50, and they want to keep this momentum going. 15-yard penalty on the defensive tackle and another touchdown for us as Joshua Palmer gets it on a 6-yard reception. 31-14. The Patriots are trying to do anything to stay into this game. 4th quarter, 4th and 14, and they go for it and convert with Jackson Smith and Jabba. 2nd and 15, first. Oh, they get the touchdown. They make it a 10-point game. All we have to do is be able to hold on to this ball and convert, and we do. 3rd and 12, 1st and 10. We are trying to chew the clock as much as possible right now, but end up not converting on 3rd down. They get the ball back with enough time to get another touchdown and possibly stop us again. 2 minutes left, and they're only down by 3. At the 2-minute warning, we do have the ball at 2nd and 5, 3rd and 7, 4th and 5. The defense has to show up right now. 1 minute left. And our defense is slowly choking the game away. 40 seconds left and they get the touchdown. With 30 seconds left on the clock. Oh, but we get a big gain by Quincy Woodley. 22 seconds. Pass was knocked away. We get another big reception by Joshua Palmer. 16 seconds left. The pass was thrown away. We get to the 3 with 12 seconds left. First and goal. 3 seconds left. Pass is thrown away. Or at the 3 with 11 seconds left. A 3-yard rush. Did we call the timeout after? We get the touchdown. We get the touchdown to Drake London on a 0-yard TD. I'm sure it was just inches. 6 seconds left on the clock. An interception by Asante Samuel. Oh my gosh, that scared me. Ooh, probably on the Hail Mary pass, Justin Herbert kneels and wins us the wild card round, and we move on past the New England Patriots. That was a tough ending. We almost lost it while we were up by 2 touchdowns. Now we are facing the 13-4 Indianapolis Colts. Seems like Jonathan Taylor has been having a pretty good season, even though they have the wrong stats on the top threat. Gonna have to see how we do in this game. Colts do start off with the ball. Already 2nd and 10. 1st and 10, though. They get a penalty to move them downfield, and that momentum is going to take them to get a field goal. 3-0. And the Chargers are trying to get a touchdown to take the lead already in the game. 1st and 10. 2nd and 7. We are moving downfield, 2nd and goal, and we end up getting the touchdown, 7-3. The Colts are trying to do anything to stay into this game, but throw a pick. And we could possibly be taking a 2-touchdown lead very soon, 14-3. It is a 2-score game, but the Colts immediately get a pass to their tight end, Anthony Guerrero, 2nd and 12. The end of the first quarter, 3rd and 12. The only player that seems to still be on the team from right now is Jonathan Taylor. And 4th and 20 because Darren Daly gets sacked, and they put us at the 1. Wow, and a penalty moves us forward because of Kwity Paye, but we immediately get a penalty on our halfback right after that, and we throw a pick to DJ Turner. And they immediately get a touchdown, 14-10. We are trying to answer back after that disgusting pick by Justin Herbert. And we end up getting another touchdown, 21-10. We are still up by 2 scores, and they were simply not able to do anything, and they punt it once again. Let's not throw a pick while we're that close to the touchdown. 1st and 10, and a big touchdown by Joshua Palmer, 52 yards on it. 28-10. We just have to hold this lead. They tried to rush it with Jonathan Taylor. 4th and 3. They end up punting it right back to us. 30 seconds left on the clock. 25. I don't think we're going to do much right now to answer. 11 seconds, and they just run out the clock. A pick by Kenneth Murray, but we don't do anything with it. 28-10, and we start off with the ball in the second half. We're moving downfield right now as 3rd and 3 happens. 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, 3rd and goal, and we are able to get the touchdown, 35-10. In the 3rd quarter, we only have to hold the lead, and it seems like we're going to be able to do that right now. A penalty moves us forward, 41-10. We are blowing out the 13-4 Colts right now as they punt it away on 4th and inches. They don't even try to go for it. 3rd and 3, 4th and inches. We punt it away because we do not want to risk anything right now. 42-10, 1st and 10. The Colts are moving downfield very slowly, but end up not converting on 3rd down and try to go for it, but are not successful. As we get the ball back, we're just chewing clock right now and end up punting it back to them. 2 minutes left in the game. They're trying to do anything to come back into this, but they simply cannot do anything about it. They can't get the touchdown, but they're still down by 3 touchdowns. 20 seconds left on the clock, and we run it out to win against the 13-4 Indianapolis Colts, 42-17, if I'm not mistaken. Oof, a big win, a big momentum win too, because we're going to the AFC Conference Championship right now. And now we have to face the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC Championship. They are 12-5, but the records do not matter right now, as we had a pretty big win against the Colts this last game. That could help the offense a lot in this game. as the Chargers do start off with the ball, and immediately the offense is trying to start off hot as they do get a touchdown to T. Higgins for 49 yards, 7-0 already. They got a penalty to knock them back, but then end up getting 2 big receptions. Their offense is hitting on all cylinders right now as they do get a touchdown to tie the game up, 7-7, 3rd and 4, and we get sacked by Terrell Lewis and have to punt it away. Our defense has to do something right now in order to stop them, and they do. 4th and 10, they have to punt it back to us as we get a big pass to T. Higgins. We're in field goal range, 3rd and 5. We convert on 3rd down, and we're moving closer to the goal line. 1st and goal at the start of the 2nd, 14-7. The Chargers are up. Ooh, they almost did not convert. A 10-yard penalty on Josh Sampson. 2nd and 18, 3rd and 15, and they convert on 3rd and 15. Our defense is wishy-washy right now. 4th and 2, and they end up going for it and get it with the running back out of Michigan. 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, 3rd and goal, and they still end up getting the touchdown. 3 minutes left in the quarter. We just have to get a touchdown since they do get the ball at the start of the half, and Trayvon Walker sacks us for 9 yards. 3rd and 19, and an interception by C.J. Gardner-Johnson as he does go to the Jaguars. They get a big reception to Christian Kirk and end up getting a touchdown. 21-14, our offense has to do something about this, and we throw a pick. What is going on with Justin Herbert this playoffs? We simply cannot do anything, and they get a field goal to make it a 10-point lead as we're trying to go downfield with limited time on the clock. 3rd and 3, 1st and 10, 11 seconds left, 2nd and 10, and we get into field goal range with Joshua Palmer. 9 seconds left, and we take the field goal to make it a touchdown game, and it starts the second half, and they do get the ball first, but our defense can make all the difference right now with a 10-yard penalty, and they end up punting it to us. We just have to do something with this, and a penalty gets us the 1st down. 2nd and 4, 3rd and 8, and we have to punt it back to the Jaguars, and the Jaguars are moving downfield. They get into field goal range. 2nd and 10. Oh, we got the ball back. When did that happen? 3rd and 7, 4th and 7, it doesn't matter. They get the ball right back anyways. They are moving downfield with these pass plays right now. 3rd and 4. They're about to get into the red zone as they do. 24-17 makes it 31-17. Down by 2 touchdowns right now at the start of the 4th. As we're moving downfield, we need to get a touchdown to stay into this game. 3rd and 6, 1st and goal, and we get a touchdown. 31-24. Our defense just has to show up. And they do. 4th and 7, and they punt it to us. We have to hit it on offense. 2nd and 3, and a pick by Justin Herbert. Oh my gosh, and they're at the 31. They're just trying to get any sort of points right now, and our defense is not going to be able to do anything about it. We're down by 10 with a minute 40 on the clock, and we're moving downfield right now, but I don't know if it's going to matter much. 34-31, 57 seconds left on the clock. The onside kick is recovered by Jacksonville. 50 seconds. They kneel it, and they win the game. The Jacksonville Jaguars beat us in the AFC Conference Championship. I don't quite know what to do with this team right now. And the Jaguars move on to lose to the Philadelphia Eagles with Jalen Hurts winning Super Bowl MVP. None of our players win anything in terms of awards. Disappointing loss to the Jaguars. Justin Herbert could have done much better in that game. Now we have to see what players we can re-sign this offseason. It's going to be a difficult one, to be honest with you. Rashawn Slater is still here. So is J.C. Jackson, Drake London. I think this year we're just going to focus on getting the players that we have. We had a pretty good season overall. Guess we'll try to give him a player-friendly deal. I mean, yeah, that's the only way that we were probably going to get him there. Why did it drop to 25? Drake London, try to keep him. Go ahead and give him a player-friendly deal. That's a good offer. Glad we got the deal done. 12 mil is not realistic, so you got to fix that. I want to keep Connor Haggins. I'm not too sure about Kenneth Murray. Ooh, Marquise Floyd. We do have to keep Marquise. He wants to stay with the team. 4.2. Why did it drop so quick? Sweeten the pot. All right, we are sending Joey Bosa out. He is an 83 overall on star development. I'm not dealing with his cap hit, and we're sending a 7th round pick with him for a 2nd and a 4th from the Bears. It's simply just to get rid of that cap hit. But why are we negative 10.5 in cap now? It's going to be in negative cap right now because can't seem to find a way to get out of it. We don't have any cornerbacks except for Asante Samuel right now. So we're going to have to look for cornerbacks in the draft. We quite literally have no cornerbacks. Left outside linebacker, middle linebacker. So the defense is going to be a main priority in this draft for sure. And a right guard too. So I'm going to have to take a look at what there is in this draft. See if I can do something to help us out right now. Right, well, we are sending 2 4th round picks. And our 1st round pick for the 20th pick in the draft. I really want to get a cornerback. And the only shot that I have is getting Joey Bridges, I think is his name right now, because he is supposed to be going at the 20th spot or 21st spot. We were down here at 29. He is up here going to the Dolphins. I just traded for the Bengals pick to see if I'm able to get him. Hopefully I do. This middle linebacker is supposed to go 31st, and I was looking at him, but I think we're just going to have to roll with what we can do right now. I have some favorites already, a bunch of right guards that I'm planning to get. Josh Spencer. I could move into the late first just to make sure I get a middle linebacker. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go ahead and move into the late first. Try to get that middle linebacker, Spencer Tate, because we need a middle linebacker, and I'm not going to be able to sign any right now. So this is okay for right now. We're sending our 2nd round pick, our 3rd round pick next year, and our 4th round pick this year for a late first and a 3rd round pick. The reason why I'm trading for a 3rd round pick and why I'm giving up one next year is because there are a lot of right guards that I need to be getting in order to be able to have an offensive line right now. So it's kind of how the game plan is going right now. I'm going to keep trying to make moves to kind of get higher in the 3rd round so I don't have to worry as much to get those right guards. But I like what I'm seeing so far. All right, so we are sending our late 3rd round pick and 2 5ths to the Chiefs for their semi-early 3rd round pick. I just don't want to have to worry about not getting any right guards, because if we don't, then we will be royally screwed on the offensive line. We are the 20th overall pick in the 1st round, so we're just going to go ahead and sim to it. Hopefully we get the pick that we want. Jamie Lindsley, cornerback, ends up getting taken. Is our cornerback here? Okay. Oh, that scared me. All right, so we are going to go ahead and take Joey Bridges here. Already took a look at him. Great physicals, solid skills. Hopefully he ends up panning out and he is hidden development. We need that for the cornerback room that we have right now. It is not looking good. All right, now at the end of the 1st, we are looking for our middle linebacker that we also desperately need right now. Yep, Spencer Tate is here. And we're going to go ahead and take him. Normal development, though. Hopefully he's a good overall. Ronald Highsmith. Basically going to be a CB3. Not the best skills in the world. He has solid physicals. Normal development. Pretty good stats, but he's going to be a CB3 regardless. Just needs somebody that's not going to be horrible at CB3. No, not Billy Hawkins. That's the one that I really wanted. And they take him right before us. All right, Chandler McBride, I think, was the next one up. Actually, physicals, yeah, it was JC Spikes. JC Spikes, right guard, that we just need somebody to fill in that spot. Normal development. All right, and at the start of season 6 now, Spikes ended up being a pretty good overall, so that's solid for our line right now. I just hope that we're able to do something this year. The offense basically looks the same. Tate is a 75 overall, filling in that middle linebacker position. Bridges is a 77, and Highsmith ended up being a 76, so that is fantastic for us. Johnson is filling in at 82. Rosenberg went up to 80, so a little bit worse of a team, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start winning games this year. At the mid-season mark, we are 3-3. At the 500 mark, we'll go ahead and look at the stats first, see if it's a defense. 29th in offensive yards and 6th in defensive yards when we lost a bunch of our defensive players. Justin Herbert is not performing. 6 TDs and 8 interceptions. 1,500 yards. That is horrible. Bijan Robinson has 382 and 5 TDs. Receiving, T. Higgins, 400 yards and 2 TDs. I mean, Drake London isn't even doing better than our wide receiver 3 right now. Quincy Woodley with 312, but no TDs. The defense, Spencer Tate has the most tackles. TFLs, Marquise Floyd has 10. Chase Young has 9. Morris has 8. Greenwood has 6 sacks. Floyd has 4. Chase Young has 3. And Greenwood has 3. Ugh, it is not a good look right now. I don't know what is going on. We'll look at this before we go into the lineup. See if anybody went down. Keith Rosenberg has a contract coming up. So does Jake Moody. We have 51 mil in cap, though. So that's a pretty good sight to see. David Edwards was signed by the CPU. Okay. Brandon Cartwright has been at our right outside linebacker position. Wow. English. Keith Rosenberg. Gonna go ahead and try to sign him to a neutral deal. Offers perfect. Ends up coming back. Jake Moody, just going to re-sign him to a normal deal right here. Just try not to piss him off too much. Brandon Cartwright, another neutral deal. Exactly the offer that he wanted. We keep our right outside linebacker. 40 mil left. Ron Matthews could just walk, to be honest with you. I'm not too concerned about it. Well, 7-10. So great. I'm so happy that we're 7-10 right now. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we're 7-10 and we're in negative cap right now. That is so great for us. That is so fantastic for us. Everything looks the same on offense. Everything looks the same on defense. Nothing to go crazy about right now. Stats and awards. I think this is possibly one of the last years that Justin Herbert's on contract, as we have 20th in offensive yards, 29th in defensive. Jeez. 4,600 yards, 34 TDs, and 16 interceptions. At least he picked it up. Bijan Robinson did get over the 1,000-yard mark with 10 TDs. Receiving, T. Higgins had 1,124. 6 TDs. Drake London got past the 1,000 with 5. Ron Matthews had 922 and 9. And Quincy Woodley had 854 and 8. Defense. Cartwright had the most tackles. Marquise Floyd had 22 TFLs. Chase Young had 21. Tony Morris had 14. And Greenwood had 14. Wow. 9 sacks for Tony Morris, 6 for Floyd, 5.5 for Greenwood, 5 for Chase Young, and interceptions, since I have not checked them at all. Joey Bridges has 2. Spencer Tate has 1. And Rosenberg has 1. Okay. Well, we're 7-2. We do have our first round pick, but I don't think we have anything other than that. We have our first or second, and then that's it. So, not a good look for us right now. Oh, and at the end of the 2028 season, the Seahawks beat the Jaguars 42-28. The Jaguars keep making it, but keep losing. Dean Carney, the Seahawks quarterback, wins Super Bowl MVP. We are getting deep into this rebuild because the Chargers simply cannot win enough games to make the playoffs. I think I'm pretty comfortable not signing any of these players right now. The punter, I mean, it's $1 million. We'll go ahead and get him. Appreciate the offer, but I'm going to test out free agency. Yeah, you're not going to get much better than that. All right, we are trading John Johnson III for a third-round pick to the Bengals. This man is not even playing starter, and he is taking an $8 million cap hit on us, and we're not taking that. 27.4 million in cap. Now is up to 31.5, so we have a little bit more cap space to deal with in free agency. The 2 players that we are going after, I understand that I just drafted a right guard last draft, but it seems like that's the issue right now because he's not good enough right now. Quinn Meinerz? Sure. We're in competition with the Falcons to get him, and we're trying to get Jalen Hyatt because I don't think we have a deep threat. And Jalen Hyatt is pretty fast as far as in real life. So, gonna have to do something with this. 14 mil left in cap. Hopefully they end up accepting. And they both do end up accepting. And coming to the team, that helps us a great deal on the offensive line and the wide receiver room. They didn't have anything in terms of defense that's super eye-grabbing or better than what we already have right now. That offensive line looks great. Mobley is still an 82, though, so that's a bit concerning. Defense, Tate is up to a star. Cartwright also up to a star. Rosenberg at free safety. Luvu. Left outside linebacker might be the way to go this draft because, boy, oh boy, Luvu is falling off. And at the 11th pick in the first round, our offense is pretty good right now. This right outside linebacker would be great. He has dropped to us now. Would replace the left outside linebacker position. Might be the way to go right now. And it's value too, so can't really go with anything else. His physicals aren't fantastic, but he's pretty high on the board. Cameron Adams, normal development. This left outside linebacker looks good too. He looks good too. And really, right now, I'm trying to fix where Luvu's at right now. So I would rather keep trying and keep doing that than try to get different positions that I'm not going to be able to use. So Steve Strong, hidden development. Definitely going to have to pack up Luvu. His cap hit is doing too much for our team right now. At the start of the season, offense basically looks the same. Justin Herbert keeps developing but is not winning any games. Defense, though, for some reason took a big hit in overall. I think I'm going to get rid of Luvu. Let Strong be the left outside linebacker. Adams does not seem to be any better than Cartwright. Cornerbacks are solid. Defensive line is solid. Derwin James is only getting older right now. Have to see what I can do about Luvu right now. All right, we're sending Luvu a 6th and a 7th to Washington for their first round pick. Getting rid of his contract, getting some cap room back. Got to do what I can do to get that cap hit off. But we are going to simulate to the midseason mark, hoping that we do something this season. And the Chargers at the midseason mark are 2-5. Not good at all. Not good at all. Just nothing to really say about it, to be honest with you. The offense, still the same. Is it the wide receivers? Is that the issue? Like, am I relying on the wrong wide receivers? The defense is pretty solid. We shouldn't be as bad as we are right now. And the stats on the season for us, 12th in offensive yards. Kind of middle of the pack right there. And 28th in defensive yards. 1,800 yards, 18 TDs, and 8 interceptions for Justin Herbert. Bijan Robinson, 487 and 5 TDs. It's basically a bunch of the same right now. T. Higgins is the top. Quincy Woodley's the second. I mean, we don't care about the blocking. Defense, Cartwright is the leading tackler again. TFLs, 9 for Floyd, 8 for Morris, 5 for Young. Sacks, 4 for Young, 2 for Floyd, 2 for Morris. Interceptions, 2 for Joey Bridges, 1 for Cartwright, and 1 for Highsmith and Asante Samuel. Ooh, do I have to change the playbook again? I don't know what defensive playbook they want me to put it to. All right, we're going to go ahead and simulate to the end of the season, hoping that we somehow make the playoffs right now. I would be surprised. I would be pleasantly surprised. And we end up finishing the season 11-6, winning the division, but not quite enough to win the AFC. What are the stats on the season? Because, man, I was about to lose all hope. 4th in offensive yards. 28th in defensive. So it was all offense. 4,700 yards, 50 TDs, and 11 interceptions by Justin Herbert. Whoa. Rushing 1,364 and 11 TDs by Bijan. Receiving, T. Higgins and Quincy are both above 1,000. T. Higgins at 13 and Quincy at 10. Defense, Cartwright again winning the tackle leader. 19 TFLs for Floyd, 13 for Young, 13 for Morris, 10 for Greenwood, 14.5 for Chase Young, 8.5 for Greenwood. Interceptions, 4 for Highsmith, 3 for Asante Samuel, and 3 for Bridges, and also 3 for Derwin. For being almost bottom of the league in defense, they did pretty well. The lineup before we get into the wild card round, I don't even think I looked at who is up for a contract this year, and that's going to be bad if it's anybody important. Justin Herbert is up to a 99. Bijan is going up as well. Defense, everybody looks to be going up right now. I am concerned as to who is up for a contract because I do not remember looking at it. But we have to face the Cleveland Browns in the first round of the wild card, who still have Myles Garrett leading them. All right, and the Browns do start off with the ball and immediately are going downfield pretty easily, but we get a pick to put us at the 25. And we end up converting on third down, avoiding the 3 and out. 3rd and 5, we are past the 50-yard mark, and we go downfield and get a 40-yard touchdown with Jalen Hyatt, our free agency signing. They immediately get sacked by Chase Young. Another, it was a penalty, a 10-yard penalty. 2nd and 27, 3rd and 14, and they get sacked by Greenwood. And a punt puts us behind the 50 as we immediately get past it. We're in field goal range. 2nd and 10, 2nd and 15 because of a penalty. 3rd and 15, 4th and inches. And we end up just taking the field goal. 10-0. We are taking the smart route right now as they do go 4th and 2 with a 3 and out. And we have to be able to get this big lead so we can avoid them coming back in any way. 2nd and 15, 3rd and 7, 1st and 10. That we're moving downfield right now. 4th and 18 though with field goal range. 13-0. It is a 2-score game. 3rd and 4, 4th and 4. They end up punting it again, but now we're moving downfield with the momentum that we have and end up taking another field goal, a 16-point lead, and they're not going to be able to do much before the end of the half as we get the ball back with almost a minute left to go. 3rd and 10. 4th and 1, and we have to punt it back to them with 30 seconds left on the clock, and they just don't do anything with it as the Cleveland Browns do kick it to us. As we get a big reception, Bijan gets a -yard rush. 3rd and 8, and we're not able to do anything and have to punt it to the Browns. 16-0 still. They're just simply not able to do anything against us. 3rd and 11, back and forth, a very back and forth drive as a 10-yard penalty knocks us back more, and they're they're at their own 6. Oh, okay. But they're moving downfield pretty easily. 4th and 1. Do they go for it? They don't. All that momentum just to not go for it. 3rd and 15, 4th and 2, and we have to punt it. Still 16-0. They are not able to do much against our defense, which was supposedly one of the worst defenses in the league. Start of the 4th quarter, we have 1st and 10. 1st and 10 again. 2nd and 2. 1st and goal, and we get a touchdown to make it a 23-0 game. That has to be all but over right now. They're trying to go downfield as fast as possible, but only make it 23-6. We're just trying to chew the clock as much as possible. We missed a 60-yarder. They have the ball with pretty good field goal range and ends up getting the touchdown again, 23-13. It's only a 10-point game with 50 seconds left on the clock. But they were not able to stop us on that drive. If they did, it would have made all the difference. But we do win the wild card round against the Cleveland Browns. Moving on to the divisional. Hopefully this can be our year. And in the divisional round, we have to face the Baltimore Ravens, who are also 11-6. It seems like Lamar Jackson had a pretty good season, but he's down to a superstar, so we could probably take advantage of that. And the Ravens do start off with the ball. Our defense just has to start off hot, but allow them to get their first down. The Ravens just keep converting on 3rd down as they go downfield and end up getting the touchdown. 7-0. The Chargers are moving downfield. We get into field goal range. 3rd and 1, and we don't get the first and have to take the field goal. 7-3. 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5. The Ravens just keep converting on 3rd downs. 4th and 4, and they try to... Justin Tucker missed a 60-yard field goal. And we get good field position on that as we do get into field goal range. 3rd and 12, 4th and 9. And we miss the field goal. And the Ravens get decent field position. 2nd and 19. Get a big pass play to Mark Andrews. 3rd and 15, 4th and 7. They take their field goal. Touchdown lead for them. And they get a pick with Justin Herbert. And immediately get the touchdown. 17-3. Justin Herbert has to come back out. Shooting on us. Oh my gosh. It's almost the end of the first half and we simply cannot do anything right now. They're moving almost close to field goal range with 11 seconds left on the clock, but are not able to get the field goal. 2nd and 10, 1st and 10. We're getting into field goal range. 2nd and 3, 1st and goal, and we finally get our first touchdown of the day. 4th and 1, and they punt it to us. Oh, we have a chance to come back into this right now. 3rd and 6, we convert on 3rd down. We're moving downfield. 2nd and goal, and a penalty knocks us back, but that doesn't matter because we get the touchdown anyways. 17-17 in the 3rd quarter, and our defense almost stops them on their drive and keeps the momentum going, but they're moving downfield right now. They are getting very close to the touchdown, and they do. 24-17. We're in the 4th quarter. We just simply have to get a touchdown. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 5, and we end up getting a 42-yard touchdown to Jalen Hyatt. We have to stop them on defense. We have to be able to stop them on defense as they get a big play. 4th and 12, they take their field goal. We have a chance to win this game with a touchdown. 3rd and 10, 4th and 10. I'm jumping in. Looking for Quincy. Have to be looking for Quincy right now. There's no other way at this point. We're going to put Drake London on a slant. Oh. A great throw and catch. We're running no huddle. Got to do something about this right now. They don't read the screen. We're getting around with Bijan. Ugh, I need to call a spike. I need to get the spike. Got all the routes going right now. Could be Bijan. Could be Drake London down the middle. Oh, we get hit. Is that roughing the passer? Holding offense. So that's going to make it 4th and 8 or 3rd and 18. They make it 4th and 8. Ooh, the offensive line needs to hold here. They need to hold. Hold on. That's not the route I want. I want a wheel route by Bijan. There it is. There it is with Higgins. He finds space. We're going to call the timeout. Our players are getting very tired. 36-yard line. PA stretch shot. Oh, my goodness. And they get in. Have to call no huddle right now. Oh, my goodness. I have to find something. Something to get us these yards back. Ooh, Hyatt. Get space. 32 seconds left on the clock. We're going to call a timeout. 1st and 10 at the 10. Oh, my gosh. He shrugged off that tackle. Shrugging off that man. Gets us to the 10. Oh! Oh, he was supposed to cut in. He was supposed to cut in on that. Looking for almost anything right now. Just nothing. Nothing was open. I'm going to just go for the field goal. Just go for the field goal. 4th and 16. I'll let the CPU do that. 27-27. Going into halftime. We get the ball first. 1st and 10. 2nd and 9. 3rd and 3. 4th and 5. And they're at the 47. Wait. They got a penalty on the punt. That's what happened. 2nd and 6. 2nd and 16. 3rd and 19. And we get a big reception by Drake London, putting us into field goal range. 2nd and 8. 3rd and 3. We get another conversion. We get the touchdown. 34-27. Our defense just has to stop them. And they are moving downfield right now. 4th and 4. And they get the touchdown. They get the touchdown. We have to be able to do anything right now. A field goal would do it if it's with enough time left. 3rd and 3. We convert on 3rd down. We're at the 47. 2nd and 9. 3rd and 9. 4th and 1. And we win the game. The Chargers win the game. I don't know how. How was it? We got it with the field goal. And now in the Super Bowl, we have to face the Dallas Cowboys that somehow made it with an 8-9 record. That if that doesn't define Dallas Cowboys, I don't know what does. But we have to face them in the Super Bowl. I don't think Micah Parsons is on their team anymore, so might not look good for them. And at the start of the Super Bowl, the Dallas Cowboys do get the first touchdown of the day, but we answer right back. And at the start of the second quarter, it is an even game, as the Dallas Cowboys immediately get the touchdown, but we keep answering back. But it seems like the Dallas Cowboys defense is picking it up, but we tie the game up right before the end of the half. We'll go play-by-play right now, as the Chargers have the ball 3rd and 8, but are not able to convert, and the Dallas Cowboys have it once again, trying to get that lead again. 4th and 6, and they end up taking the field goal. We are able to convert on 3rd down on the first set of plays. 3rd and 2, 1st and 10, 2nd and 12, 3rd and 5, and we get a big reception and the touchdown. But there was a penalty. We have a 28-24 lead, and the Dallas Cowboys have the ball once again and are able to convert on 3rd down. They are moving downfield as they get into the red zone and end up getting a touchdown, making it a 31-28 game. 2nd and 7, 3rd and 2. We get across the 50, 3rd and 7, 4th and 7, and we missed a field goal. With 3 minutes left in the game, the Dallas Cowboys have the ball, are not able to convert on 4th down, and they end up punting it. We have a chance to take the lead and run away with the Super Bowl trophy, as it is the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 7, 4th and 7, and we're not able to convert on 4th down. Dallas Cowboys have the ball. They're trying to run out the clock, as it is 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys. 2nd and 11, 3rd and 8, 4th and 9. We have 30 seconds left on the clock to get into field goal range. We get to the 48. We get to the 37. We get to the 9. And we get the touchdown right before the end of the Super Bowl with 5 seconds left on the clock. All we have to do is kick it where they cannot return it. And we win the Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Chargers win the Super Bowl in the most out of the ordinary way possible. Wow. They went downfield with 30 seconds left on the clock, not having to go for the field goal. They went for the touchdown and got the win because of a blocked field goal. That is absolutely insane. What a way to end off the rebuild. I think it was about 8 years of this rebuild. Ooh. Very, very interesting one. Justin Herbert holding the Lombardi Trophy. And at the end of the Chargers rebuild, your Los Angeles Chargers win it all, with Justin Herbert winning Super Bowl MVP. None of our players won any awards, or coach won any awards. But we got the biggest trophy of them all, the Lombardi Trophy. If you did enjoy that, please go down there and like and subscribe for me. Let me know what teams you want me to rebuild. I think I'm supposed to be doing the Dolphins next. So I think it's going to be a similar style in terms of like future type of rebuild, trying to elongate it, but also try to win Super Bowls now. But again, if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.